You're listening to Moon Monkey. On this episode, we're going to be talking about Can You Ever Forgive Me, directed by Marielle Heller.
So it's based on the real life story of Lee Israel, who's played by Melissa McCarthy. We meet Lee, and she's a struggling author, and she can't pay her bills. She's got a sick cat, and while she's trying to research her next biography on Fanny Bryce, which her agent says, I can't sell that. Nobody wants to read it.
She's already had some success, I think, with her previous biography of Fanny Bryce.
She's of somebody. I don't think it was a Fanny Bryce. Anyway, it was a biography of someone. While she's researching this for a Fanny Bryce biography, which her agent has already told her nobody wants, she finds a letter, and it's a personal letter, and she manages to sell that for the rent money. From Fanny to someone, and she managed to sell that to pay for a rent, and she discovers that there's a big market for these letters, and if they're a bit more spicy, if they've got a bit more something a bit more personal in them, she would be able to make a lot more money. So she ends up forging the signature of No Coward and various other authors,
typing out the letters herself and then forging the signature. So forging the literary letters.
So she becomes all these famous people from the past and sells them for quite a bit of money, and that does lead to her being on the FBI watch list because she becomes quite known as being this master forger of all these letters. So she has to get someone else to sell the letters that she's making. So that brings in Richard E. Grant playing Jack Hawk.
Yep.
Who is really good in this as well.
I think he's also meant to be like a struggling author, isn't he? Or
we don't
really find out what he does.
Jack Hawk's just like some kind of vagabond. He's just we don't know what's going on.
He just wanders around. I got the sense that he was also because he knew her from some other party, so I have a feeling he was in that scene. I feel like he'd fallen on hard times.
I feel like Jack.
I don't go into too much to his background.
I feel like Jack was just in the party scene.
He has one defining quality, which he reveals early on. But I thought Melissa McCarthy's performance in this was fantastic. Obviously, she's most well known for comedies, Bridesmaids, and Ghostbusters remake. I can't remember what else we've seen her in.
But she's always whenever it's a serious show, she's really great. I think.
Yeah.
She's a lot like Steve Carell, who's more associated with comedy. But whenever they do something serious, I think they're really, really good.
Yeah, he's shown his talents as a serious actor.
And I think
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, I get again from that kind of comedy background, but fantastic in this.
Yeah.
And there's such a warmth between the two characters. It's a lot like Green Book, which I really liked. But I felt like this was just a bit more gritty and had a bit more heart to it. Not as much. I don't know. It was something. It had a more natural feeling of warmth between the two characters.
Green Book is a very polished product. They know exactly what they're doing, and when they're trying to tug your heartstrings, this, like you say, it felt more. It wasn't artifice. It was real. The relationship between the actors and things, and the way it was directed and shot as well, it's much more down to earth.
And it has
her living in this sort of rundown apartment.
It has that feeling of 1990s New York and all these little bookstores and dingy bars and things like that,
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of struggling to get by, and why they would go into this world of forging letters and things, I really like that kind of aspect of it. But I found out that it wasn't even supposed to be this director. She just came in at the last minute, and originally it wasn't supposed to be Melissa McCarthy. It was supposed to be Julianne Moore. And it wasn't supposed to be Richard E. Grant. It was supposed to be Chris O'Dowd. And after watching it, I think if it had been Julianne Moore and Chris O'Dowd, it would have been a very different movie, because I feel like the two of them just really capture it. You can't really imagine other people doing it for me, because I think Richard E. Grant especially is fantastic in this. I think I can't imagine anyone else being Jack Hawk.
Yeah,
to be fairful honest, because he was that good.
Yeah, they embody the roles really well. Yeah, I can't imagine those two actors playing it. That would have probably been, more like your typical Hollywood story.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt, like you say, two, even though they're big name actors as well, Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant, they're able to play sort of down and out characters better than big Julianne Moore.
And there's a little bit of Withnail, Richard E. Grant. Withnail and I. Not like loads, but just the fact that he's enjoys.
But no, it was a pretty interesting story. Like, I hadn't heard of this story before. There's not a lot to it. I mean, it's like struggling author hits on a sort of wheeze to make money.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I think, like you said, it's the relationships between the characters that make it.
Yeah, it's a really good like comedy drama, and the sense of like what it is to get older and that loneliness, and how especially like, well, both the characters, but maybe Melissa McCarthy has like built this wall and she's impossible to be around. Like her agent, like played by Jane Curtin's, like, oh, you can't.
There
I
were
can't be
parts
around
which were really quite depressing. Seeing her going to parties and no one wants to talk to her or know her, and she's living alone in this apartment with her cat.
She doesn't want to talk to anybody, and her cat's all she's got. And like when the cat gets sick, you're like, oh, she's.
I know, but it's just that's tragic.
It is tragic, but yeah, like, but she's like the thing is like Melissa McCarthy, like the performance shows you, and the way it's written and constructed shows you like how she's become that person. Like she pushes everybody away.
Yeah.
And any time she does open up, she does get let down.
Yeah, it's sort of a side swipe on the idea of fame and literary fame as well, because obviously the fact like she's had fame, and then now she's like lost it. No one wants to know her. But ironically, people who are dead, people are willing to spend ridiculous money buying letters from people who are no longer even around because they have fame and because they are well-known people. So it's sort of like a bit of a satire on fame and celebrity culture, I guess.
She doesn't want to sell out and be what's that author's name?
There's an author in it that they Tom Clancy.
Yeah, she doesn't want to sell it and be Tom Clancy.
No,
this is red baiting trash, whatever.
Yeah, just publishing trash books that are really popular, but she's trying to do something that like actually means something to her, but struggling.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked this movie. I thought that they were really good, and there was a bit, it was a bit flawed, but I think like that's part of the charm of it, because like the characters are flawed and stuff. Like it's not like this glossy movie and stuff like that. I don't mean flawed in a bad way. I mean like the characters and the it has that feeling of like just the people are flawed. And it's interesting, like seeing like getting older, and it's like two characters that are over 50 and gay as well. Like there's not many movies that I think have.
Oh yeah, I mean that was really good, and they didn't sort of make a big deal of that. It's not gonna like, I would imagine like it's not gonna pack theatres because it's not like a film about like a grand epic sweeping narrative. It's a very small scale film about these two characters and what they did. But yeah, if you're looking for something a little different with some great performances and a really well made film about a sort of like quirky little story.
It's just got a lot of warmth and charm to it.
Yeah, then this would probably be for you. Also, some good songs on the soundtrack. Pixies.
Yes, that's true. There's some good songs.
And Lou Reed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our review of Can You Ever Forgive Me? We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check back soon for more reviews.